Yeah, where were we? Heba Force-Duter, Amy Stute, Laurie McCoy Bell, Monique Hyman, Lane Friedman, John Damaniani, Alison Black Barry, and Jen Ann Black. Now, the cast. The cast. Well, we have got George Clooney as Margaret's man, Brad Pitt as Pam's man, right? Margaret is played by Amy Ryan. Um, do do do. Pam. Well, that's bizarre. We do not have. Oh yes, Pam. Pam is voiced by Frances McDormand, right? Pam's hound is played by Donut McGinley. We've got the kid played by Austin Abrams. There is June played by Porna Jagannathan. We've got Dimitri played by Zalko Burek. There's Dimitri's bodyguard played by Vladimir Suzo. The bride is played by Abby Mohadez. Bartender played by Sasha Bictagia. We got the kid's dad played by Richard Kind, right? The waitress played by Irina Dubova. Motel clerk played by Himbali Craig. Chinatown lookout played by Alfred Chu. Garage attendant played by Sergio Cota Jr. Singing woman played by Linda Carollo. The triggermen were Sammy Horwitz and Frank Trigg. Bouncer was Duffy Gavar. Edwin Taylor is the door guard. Right, that's probably our main lot of people. Okay, so the gist of the film. A professional fixer is hired to cover up a high-profile crime. But when a second fixer shows up and the two lone wolves are forced to work together, they find their night sprawling out of control in ways that neither one of them expected. So that's the gist. Now, it's Jon Watts, right? There's no way you're not checking this out, right? Because even though Jon Watts, not a huge career so far, but he directed, oh man, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home. 3 of the best Spider-Man films out there, right? So, he has built up so much cachet just for those. I haven't seen his first 2, right? Cop Car or Clown. But they must have been good to get Marvel's attention, right? To get them to go, all right, we're going to give this motherfucker the reins. You know what I mean? So, it was just like, all right, I do need to, I need to check this. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I did. He's also directed episodes of The Old Man. He's got Skeleton Crew coming, right? The other thing, right? He's Soul Meets Body. He directed that video for Def Cab for Cutie, which is great. You know what I mean? He's directed a whole ton of music videos. So, yeah, Jon Watts is a great producer, director even. He produces too. But yeah, so this was it's an interesting one. Like straight out the gate, like this film is slick. This film is slick as fuck. It looks very nice. Very nice. And I think like when you first get into this story, the notion of two fixers, you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I get it. You want, Clooney and Pitt both in this, but how that doesn't make sense. How would that work? How would that work? But it makes fully sense. They explain it all. They explain it all in a way where you're just like, it's fuck freeze, but I get it, right? Yeah. Boom. That all pans out. So that's great, you know? And then just that antagonistic relationship between the both, it works, right? Everything works. It's like, it's got that little flow to it all. Now, I'm like, my big thing was just the kid, It was the kid. I'm just like, why would you want the kid? Why would you dig the kid, Now, the whole chase was kind of crazy. You're kind of like, it doesn't have to be this long a chase, but the car, the car situation with the kid, that was great. Oh man, the way that was shot, right? Like you following him up and then it's on the foot, right? And the hip, and it's just like that close up move and we invert all of that. Man, does that happen to me? Now, I didn't land on my feet. I don't land on my feet. I land on my head. But, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh shit, yeah, that's what it was like. So that was great, right? That definitely had me like, okay, let's go with this shit. But still, you do have questions around the trust and all of that, right? The introduction of June, right? And the way then we're tying up other parts of the story. Yeah, I'm on that. But it's still, the kid was a bit of a sticking point for me with this. But I did enjoy the film. I did enjoy the film, but I don't think I'm fully tied in. But the end, right? It's towards the very end of the film when we kind of get the dominoes falling. That's when I'm just like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm down for this. Right? That's what I was really like, oh yeah. That was the thing that did it for me. I thought that was good. When you finally got that insight, it was just like, oh, that's smart. That's smart. Okay. Yeah, that's really good. It's really good, You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see how this one does perform just for those elements, right? It was funny, like you had some tie-ins to Oceans, like Sinatra and things like that. So there's those little nods, it seems. I might be wrong, right? I might be wrong. It does happen occasionally. But I thought the acting was good. Like everyone involved they're good. Like the kid's kind of weird, but I did think Austin Abrahams does a good job. I mean, Amy Ryan is great. She's a great actress. Clooney and Pitt do their thing. I thought Porna Jagana Fathan as June was really good. So all of those elements, right? The cast is very good. They sell their roles. You know, as I said, the film looks slick. It's great cinematography. You know, the music works. All of that. In some places, yeah, I did feel it's maybe a little distracting. Like in the hotel room. I'm not sure we needed the music all the time. But yeah, for the most part, all the elements work, right? This is a well put together, well constructed feature. As I said, for me, I'm not like I enjoyed it, but I wasn't in love with it, right? I wasn't completely gripped by it until the very end. Until the very end. Now, I will say, people, if you do watch this one, and yeah, you know, I feel if you like the ocean films, if you like that kind of thing, if you enjoyed Midas that we looked at recently, I think you'll enjoy Wolf, right? But don't turn it off as soon as the credits hit, because we do get to see the security cam footage. So that's all very interesting, right? So yeah, stick it out for that. All right. But yeah, Wolves, it hit Apple last Friday. But you know, as the podcast goes out, there was enough time to include it last week. So yeah, Wolves. Okay, people, so Wolves. Right? This is the new film from Jon Watts. He wrote and directed it. You know what I mean? It is produced also by Watts, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Dee Gardner, Grant Heslov, Jeremy Cleaner, and Diane McGingley. It's executive produced by Michael Bugh and associate produced by Kathleen Gardner. Theodore Shapiro took care of the music. Larkin Sepel was on cinematography. Andrew Weisblum edits the piece. Right? Casting was Rachel Tenner. Production design is Jade Healy. Art direction, we got Andrew Max Khan, Sandra Doyle Carmola, John Doohy Cox, and Katia Najara. Melissa Lavender was set decoration. Amy Westcoat is costume design. Hair and makeup, we got Rebecca Woodfolk, Samantha Ward, Heba All right, let's